It's Madden NFL 24. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' rocket-on quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Raiders and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest three-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
And off we go from Denver. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake, Crawford. Completed out left to Downs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for Williams a week ago, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
It's now 3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Crawford. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Max Crosby, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 24 carries, 95 yards, and a score.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish it not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Trenton Simpson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first-round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, you get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Off play action. Crawford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Broncos at 12-3 now on the year. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Off the play fake. Crawford. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This
into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. Now we give up the middle to Williams. He'll get this down to the 38.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the Broncos getting the road victory, so they'll look to take the season series now here in Denver. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When you look at this Bronco defense,
it's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Now we get a stoppage. Shaken up on that one. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your number 1 path to get in there, and they can get that done in this game.
53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 23. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off play action. Crawford. Touchdown Broncos. Romeo Doubs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows to 10-0. 5 plays there on that drive.
And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And running with power here.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Raiders heading out to take over.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And incomplete.
Second and 10.
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete.
While 3 completions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw here.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Throwing to start the drive. Crawford. The quick slant caught. Touchdown.
Marvin Mims.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes our score 17-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
And now here come the Raiders. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, complete. That's Davidson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
First target, first catch at a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And a Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And a rout is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Baron Browning drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken it around the 40. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Crawford. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
To throw on 2nd down, Crawford. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And a rout is on here in this first half. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
So a team. Up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now back to throw.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And down he'll go at the 25. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 23. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Throwing to start the drive. Crawford. He's going to throw one up from the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy in the final second. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half.
Broncos 38, Raiders nothing.
4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it is the Chargers out in front as those two creep towards halftime. The Chargers trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Jamison Williams, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And he returns this to the 22. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. On 1st down, Crawford dancing to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And they'll try to pound it in with Ricard. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Again, it's Ricard, the fullback. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
On 4th down, Crawford. Touchdown, Broncos. Alvin Kamara from a yard out. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raiders offense ready to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this will be caught at the 30. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice. Secure with the ball, it didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
82 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. From the 46, here's a 2nd and 4.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Well, the corner gets a hand on it, but he still makes the play.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Williams will try again. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Henry.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. He's still in search of his first rushing touchdown of the year, but not on that play.
I just wonder if he has some frustration starting to build a little bit because he hasn't gotten into the end zone. Has to just stay calm, stay within himself, just let it happen.
They'll run for it with Henry. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. He hits Adams complete.
Now he's free at the 35.
And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of the It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A first down carry for Henry.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
49 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant